to tell you about a really painful healing process that started about a month ago for me. Friday night, I'm all dressed up, I'm all alone. I walk into a bar. The waitress walks me down this long line of empty tables and sits me right next to the only other patron in the bar, this guy who is sucking down martinis and he's eating French fries. Looked at him and I said, "Are you okay?" And he says, "Not really." I'm Dan. I'm a doctor from San Francisco, and my boyfriend George just dumped me. What are you in here for? I just got dumped too. And if the truth be told, I haven't told anybody. You're the first person I told, because I didn't want the conversations that were going to come when I started telling people. First would be my mom. I never liked the guy anyway. And I'd have to defend my stupidity. "Yeah, but Mom, he was going to therapy. He was 61, he said he was going to change. This time he was going to commit." And she'd say, "I told you so." And then my dad would start in with his mantra. You know that motivational mantras that dads do? "What is it with you that you cannot keep a man happy and around for any period of time?" And the girlfriends have these cliches. "You deserve so much better than that." I deserved everything I got. I ignored all of the warning signs. I would never say anything so trite as, "You deserve better than that." I mean, that is so saccharine. At this point, I didn't want to feel better. I wanted someone who was going to get down with me and get angry and say how life was over. And there he was, Dan, my gift from the universe. We went at it, mono. He told me how George was bipolar, and he'd have violent spells, and he'd like thrash his house, but George had blue eyes, and he was so beautiful. And he knew if he loved George enough that George was going to change. And I told him about John. John cheated on me again and again and again, but I knew with enough patience and therapy that he was going to change. Well, Dan says to me, "Oh, you deserve better than that." "You deserve better than that." And we felt so much better. Oh. From that point on, we became great friends. We started going through that 7 stages of grieving together. And we were there in phase 1. He was the queen of denial, and I was the diva of denial. Over the next couple of weeks, we started going through the 2nd phase of the grieving process, which is bargaining, otherwise known as, "I'm going to try and get back together with my ex." Well, George and Dan tried and tried and tried, and every time Dan got his heart broken. So Dan decides he's going to adopt a dog. He rescues a 110-pound Akita. Now, mind you, Dan lives in a 3rd-story apartment in San Francisco. I didn't think this was such a good idea, but if it helped him to get over George, so be it. I was going to support him. And I'd get these phone calls. "Oh, Prada," that was the dog's name, Prada. "Prada is manic depressive. Oh, she has these violent spells. She's destroying my house. But she's got these beautiful blue eyes." And I know if I love her enough, she's going to change. Didn't he know he was doing the same relationship, just with a different dog? Then John calls. He wants to go out to lunch, and I am so happy my healing is done. I'm getting back together. I walked into the restaurant, I sat down, we ordered our meals, and John starts in. "Jennifer and I were talking last night." Jennifer? Yeah. "Jennifer, your therapist and you were talking last night?" "Yeah." "Did you call this lunch to tell me that you're dating your therapist?" Yeah, but there's more. See, Jennifer says that she thinks you're angry and depressed and should be on Prozac. I said, Jennifer, who I've never met, said I'm angry? Well, that made me angry. Which made him right, which made me more angry. Because I had a right to be angry, and he did not have a right to be right at that moment. And John looked at me and he says, oh, you have such anger issues. Well, that put me in stage 3. Anger. I could feel it coming up. My neck was getting red. My face was getting hot. I could feel steam coming out of my nostrils, and I'm ready to start spitting bullets at him. And he goes, oh, you have such issues. Well, I did something right then and there that I should have done a long time ago. I got up, I looked him right in the face, and I said, John, you can eat my entree, because I am out of here. And as I'm walking out of the restaurant, I can hear this voice going, hey, do you want me to email you the stuff on Jennifer's anger management? Well, I called Dan. I said, hey, Dan, this is really good stuff. You've got to get angry. You've got to get so mad that you're not 7 anymore. Well, he wasn't buying anything about this. He'd call me up every day. Oh, I'm so depressed. My life is over. I have no friends. I'm 41. Nobody wants me. I have nothing to show for my life but a bunch of broken relationships, a DUI, and I've gained 10 pounds. And I get this text, Barb, I can't see the sunshine anymore. You have to do it for me. And I'd text him back and I'd say, Dan, if you want to see the sunshine, move out of the Bay Area. And then he calls me up in a panic. Oh my God, Prada just jumped out of my window. I was going to the grocery store and she was having such separation anxiety issues that she jumped. And I said, Dan, you are driving your dog insane. He was trying to get away. He was trying to commit suicide. You are driving me nuts. Well, that was it. Stage 4, 5, 6, and 7. I am done with this healing process. I deserve better. Self-proclaimed healed. If you ever walk into a bar in San Francisco and there's a guy with a long face sucking down martinis and french fries, run. Run like your hair is on fire.